The Grateful Heart's Harvest. The journey of gratitude begins not with a feast, but with a single, quiet thought. It is the seed of intention planted in the fertile soil of the soul. For Paloma, this seed was a whisper of warmth, a gentle nudge to begin. She sat at her old wooden table, a blank notebook before her, and felt the first pulse of the holiday. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, a wise voice seemed to say. And so, with a deep breath, she began to dream of her Thanksgiving. That seed of intention was nourished by the roots of memory. Paloma closed her eyes, and the ghosts of Thanksgivings past danced before her. The smell of her grandmother's apple pie, the sound of her father's booming laugh, the feeling of a full heart surrounded by loved ones. These memories, like strong roots, anchored her to the present and reminded her of what truly mattered. Memory is the treasury and guardian of all things, she mused, feeling a profound sense of connection to her own history. Soon, the seed sprouted into the busy work of preparation. This was the sprout of effort, the joyful labor of love. Paloma moved through her kitchen, a whirlwind of flour and spices, her hands busy with the tasks of baking and cooking. She knew that the true magic of the meal was not in the final dish, but in the care and attention poured into every step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, she reminded herself, finding a quiet rhythm in the chaos. The house, once quiet, began to bloom with the sound of laughter and the gentle murmur of conversation. This was the bloom of gathering, a beautiful coming together of different lives and stories. Paloma opened her door to greet her friend Elena and felt a rush of warmth. The true feast, she knew, was not the food on the table, but the community gathered around it. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much, she whispered to Elena, a smile spreading across her face. And then, the feast itself, a magnificent tapestry of flavors and colors, a testament to the earth's bounty. This was the Feast of Abundance, a moment to pause and appreciate the richness of life. Paloma sat at the head of the table, her heart full, looking at the faces of her loved ones. The food was a gift, but the true gift was the shared moment. Gratitude turns what we have into enough, she thought, feeling a deep contentment settle over her. After the meal, as the last light of day faded, came the harvest of gratitude. One by one, each person shared a small, simple thing they were thankful for. It was a moment of vulnerability and connection, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always light to be found. The more you are grateful, the more you have to be grateful for, Paloma said, her voice soft and full of emotion. As the last guests departed, the house fell into a quiet stillness. This was the wilt of reflection, a time for the soul to process and absorb. Paloma sat alone, the echoes of laughter still in the air. She thought about the day, the small moments of joy, the unexpected conversations, the silent connections. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, she reflected, finding a quiet peace in the solitude. The day's experiences, like fallen leaves, would now become the compost of lessons. Paloma sat with her journal, writing down the insights and feelings that had risen to the surface. She understood that every interaction, every moment of gratitude, was a lesson in living more fully. Experience is the teacher of all things, she wrote, her pen moving with purpose and grace. The night brought with it the winter of rest. The day was done, the lessons absorbed. Now it was time for the body and mind to simply be. Paloma slept, a deep and peaceful sleep, knowing that rest was not a luxury, but a necessity. It was in this quiet stillness that the soul was replenished, ready for the new day. Rest is not idleness, and to lie sometimes on the grass under trees on a summer's day is not a waste of time, she thought, drifting into slumber. And with the morning sun, the cycle began again. Paloma stood at her window, a small, vibrant seed in her hand. The lessons of the day before were now a part of her, a new seed for a new year. The life cycle of Thanksgiving was not just one day, but a continuous journey of gratitude, connection, and growth. The best way to predict the future is to create it, She smiled, ready to plant the seed for her next harvest.